Hello everyone, my name is Ara Hagopian and I'm the area sales rep for Progressive Finance. I'm here today to explain to you the new Progressive Finance program for Mattress One. There are two aspects to this presentation. To begin with, we will be discussing the financial changes to the system, and then secondly, we will be talking about the operational changes. I think everyone's going to be very excited about the operational changes. It should allow you to complete an applicant and get them out the door in roughly 10 minutes. Everything is automated and paperless, and as we go through this, after we discuss the financial end, I'm sure you'll all be excited about the new program. To begin with, we are going to talk about the financial aspect of the new Progressive Finance agreement with Mattress One. As before, you can see the terms are still for 12-month. It's a 12-month contract option. That has not changed. What has changed is Progressive is no longer going to be collecting the applicant fee or the initial fee of $40. What we will do at the time of purchase is simply take their first payment. If they get paid bi-weekly, they will be making 27 payments to Progressive throughout the year. If they get paid monthly, if they get paid monthly, it'll be 13 payments, and if they get paid weekly, it'll be 53 payments. The first one due at the time of contract signing. As you can see, the Progressive cash price is the 90-day cash price. Progressive cash price is the invoice amount plus 10%. If the invoice amount is over $500. If the invoice amount is under $500, it'll purely be a $50 additional charge. So and then the term amount, once you come up with the 90-day Progressive cash price, the term amount is the Progressive cash price, which is invoice plus 10%, multiplied by 1.9, and that's what your customers will pay over the course of the next 12 months. Their first payment is due upon when the contract is signed, and once again they can either go with 53 weekly payments, bi-weekly payments, which will equate to 27 payments, or monthly payments, which will be 13. And once again, I want to make sure everybody is clear that the initial payment or their first payment is due when the contract is signed. At any time after the 90 days, they have the option of buying out the remaining of their balance for 65% of whatever is left on that balance. So here we're going to talk about two examples, the first one being a $1,000 invoice, and I just want to make sure everybody understands the math of this. The invoice amount is for $1,000. The Progressive markup is 10%. So the Progressive 90-day cash price, and this is the way that everybody needs to sell this to their customers. It's not 90 days same as cash. It's the Progressive 90-day cash price, which is the invoice plus the 10%. So for 90 days on a $1,000 invoice, if they're paying the balance in full in 90 days, their payment, their total amount due would be $1,100. Once we have the 90-day Progressive cash price of $1,100, we multiply that by 1.9, and so the term cost for the full year would be $2,090. The initial payment, and every payment is factored by taking the term cost of $2,090 divided by their amount of payments. If it's bi-weekly paydays, they will make 27 payments, and there you can see that the initial payment or the first payment that due would be the $77.40. Each payment would be that exact same amount throughout the calendar year. The other example of the $300 invoice example is, as you can see, the invoice price is $300. The Progressive markup is $50 because it's 10% or $50, whichever is greater. Therefore, the total cost is $350 multiplied by 1.9 for a term cost of $665. As you can see in this example, they have bi-weekly payments, so their initial payment would be $24.62. Now that you have an idea of the financial end, and just to review this once again, there isn't any longer, or it will no longer be an initial $40 initial fee. We will simply be taking their first payment when they sign their contract. So what is this new system about, the new operating system that we're referring to? It is 100% automated and paperless. You will no longer be receiving any pre-qualifications or sending the customer home to get additional documentation. Once this application is submitted, they will instantly get either get an approval or a denial, and once again, that is instantaneous. Due to working with this new system, we have higher approval rates, and we also have higher limits for their approvals. The approval rate went from, or the total approval amount went from $2,500 max under the previous system to now Progressive offers up to $3,700 in financing. There's still no credit needed, and we hope that this new system will help you increase your sales. As I mentioned before, you should begin and end a new contract in roughly 10 to 12 minutes, which will allow you to get back out on the floor and still and hopefully sell more merchandise. The 90-day payment option is still there, and once again, I want to make sure everybody understands you need to be selling this to your customer as the Progressive cash price is the invoice amount plus 10%. So if they're going to take the 90-day term, which over 50% of our clientele does, they will be paying the invoice amount plus 10%. The new Pay Progressive system and a few of the key changes is the customer submits a credit card or a debit card with their online application, and then Progressive will now be collecting their first payment at contract signing on either a credit card or a debit card. Each additional payment there from that point on will be the traditional way of where we draw it directly from their directly from their checking account. But grabbing their credit card or their debit card is what has allowed us to get higher approvals and also to get higher limits on those particular approvals. So to summarize this page, we need the credit card or the debit card information, and Progressive will be the one charging their credit card or their debit card. You will no longer be charging the customer anything as you previously had done with a $40 application fee. So here's a copy of the new contract. You will see that most of the information is exactly the same as previous. We need the applicant information. We need their source of primary income. We need their bank account information. And the new portion, which is in the yellow box, we need the credit card or the debit card information. Once again, that is so that Progressive can charge their credit or debit card for their first payment at the time of contract signing. Once they submit their application, as I mentioned previously, you are going to get either an instant approval or denial. Once you have that approval, you would simply log into your portal. Once you log into your portal, you're going to see a current applicant list. You will click on the particular applicant that we're referring to, and once you click on that applicant, you are going to be in Create Contract Status. There are 4 things that Progressive needs from you guys in order to complete writing up the contract. We need the salesperson name, the invoice amount, and the merchandise description, and then the lease amount. Once you have inputted that lease amount, everything on the right-hand side is going to be auto-filled. The payment frequency, we get that directly from the applicant or from their application, their payment amount, the amount of payments, and when the payments start. One thing I do want everyone to be aware of is under this new system, their initial or their first payment will be, in some cases, quite a bit higher than their $40. If it is very important for the customer to get out the door with the least amount of money out of their pocket or charged to their credit or debit card, the easiest way to do that is during the application process is have them state that they get paid weekly, and therefore we will be taking 1/53 of their total amount due at lease signing. Once that is done, you'll click Next, And you will see that I understand that the initial lease payment will be charged at this time to the credit card or debit card submitted with my lease applicant. You have the customer click I agree, and then we're immediately in DocuSign portion of this. DocuSign has painstakingly spelled this out so that any of your customers should be able to identify where they need to sign and where they need to click in order to get this document signed, and no longer will you need to print and have signatures and then fax back and forth. Everything is done online and they electronically sign. Once they have electronically signed this contract, it's very important to note that Progressive is going to be charging their credit card or their debit card for their first payment. As you will see in the next field, as soon as they complete DocuSign and click next, you will see the initial lease payment is being charged at this time. And if everything goes smoothly, hopefully you'll see this page, which with the big green circle with the green check mark, that just states that the processing is complete. The merchandise may be released. If you see this green check mark, that means that Progressive was able to charge their credit card or their debit card and there aren't any issues. You can go ahead and release the merchandise. If you see the red check mark, and I want to skip ahead to the next slide, the red check or the red X, that just means that there was a problem processing their credit card or their debit card. You need to retry initial payment. And once you click retry initial payment, you will notice that there's a drop-down menu which allows you to input either the credit card information again or enter in a different credit card or debit card information. Once that is done, if you still see the red X, you would need to contact Progressive's support line to assist you with that particular application. There seems to be a problem. But in hopefully 99% of the cases, you're going to see that green check mark, which means that Progressive was allowed to charge that credit card or debit card. And if you see that green check mark, we were able to charge the credit card and you may release the merchandise. Once everything has been signed and Progressive has been able to charge the credit card for the first payment, the last thing that each store location will have to do is go back into the portal, click on the particular contract that we're referring to or the applicant that we're referring to, and you'll see in the far right-hand column there is a delivery date. You would simply click on the particular date that the merchandise will be delivered, and everything is completed at that point. We need a delivery date so that Progressive Finance knows to finance or to fund Mattress One for the merchandise delivered, and that'll be the funding will take place within 48 hours after a delivery date has been entered. If you have any problems, Progressive's merchant support line is right in front of you at 855-222-0801. And I am always available at my mobile phone number at 407-569-6332. It's very important to note that if you have any issues with a particular applicant, I, as the sales rep, do not have remote access to the portal. I will not be able to see the particular applicant that you're referring to. In that situation, your best bet is to contact the merchant support line at 855-222-0801. If you have any general questions or any questions on how to utilize the system, please don't hesitate to contact me at 407-569-6332. If you feel that you need some additional training on the new system after viewing this, please do not hesitate to give me a call, as I'm happy to bring anybody up to speed. Thank you very much, and good luck this weekend.